to all of our Gold family listening in today. I'm Fiona Langsharp, IBCLC and Director of Communications and MC for Gold Learning. We're here today. We're going to be talking with Briana Tillman and Nicholas Sloan, aka Nick. Welcome back. It's great to have you here at our Gold Lactation Online Conference once again, talking about this topic. This is pretty big, guys. What's been going on?
Thank you. We're so excited to be back. Well, Nick and I are both very interested in psychiatry, and so we enjoyed presenting last year at Gold, and I wanted to combine my two loves of being a lactation consultant and going into psychiatry. And I really enjoyed partnering with Nick on that, so we are back for more.
Oh, that's amazing. That's awesome. Yeah, let's talk about this topic just for a minute, Briana, because this is something that I am starting to see, hence why you're here, but we're starting to see more and more people talking about it. And the statistics in women, family members reaching out for help in the perinatal field, or perinatal period, I should say, is growing, it seems. And so statistics can be quite grave because I don't know if it's the diagnosing is getting better or the treatment. What's going on? Are we seeing more diagnosis happening in that time now?
Well, yes, I do like to see that the stigma of mental health challenges is starting to decline a little bit, and people are feel more free to come out and talk about what kind of challenges they go through. And I feel like this is a major part in what we're seeing of more talk about mental health in lactation and also in general in life. Lots of people have struggles.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Nick, do you have something to add to that, or what is it? What's your perception here too?
Yeah, I think one good thing is there's a lot more awareness for things like depression, especially during that early prenatal, post-delivery period, and people are really, seeking help for that, and it's really, really an awesome thing.
Do you think that it's going to drive people in the wrong direction if we don't have the available care? And of course, as in your abstract, you talk about the shortage of mental health professionals. Is there risk factors here that there are people falling through the cracks?
Yes, but I do think that people have been falling through the cracks throughout history, really. I think what we're doing now is bringing more awareness to the field, and rather than driving people in the wrong direction, I feel like the increased awareness of mental health challenges is making people more willing to consider different kinds of treatment, talking to other people, finding out what worked for them, and maybe finding out that there's a lot of different options available to moms.
Right. No, that's awesome. I've been thinking about this question for some time about mental health in breastfeeding. And one of the things that I'm seeing quite a bit is that you're seeing intentional, and this is mainly social media stuff that I look at, of course, so bear with me, but intentional posts about I have chosen not to breastfeed because, it was just too much for their mental health the previous time. So what is happening in this area where, again, I'm sort of curious to know, it seems like, again, talking about it and treating it, yes, we're doing that as well. But then we have these extremes where, perhaps it's a lack of information or whatever, lack of care, but people are making these statements. I have chosen not to breastfeed to preserve my mental health. What's going on with that?
Well, it's kind of interesting. There's a lot in the popular media out there about not only how stressful it is to breastfeed, which most of us here in this venue know that breastfeeding is actually less stressful than the challenges of bottle feeding, but or formula feeding. But also, we've kind of bitten off a pretty large topic here because we talk about three major aspects of psychiatric issues here. And the first one is about maternal mental health as it relates to breastfeeding. We find that there's a lot of stuff out there that's not really supported by the literature. Really, people think that the Breast is Best campaign is bad for mom's maternal health, and we will talk a little bit about what we found when we looked into that. And we're also going to talk about how moms feel in general about breastfeeding and about social pressures. But that's one big aspect of our talk. And then we're also going to talk about mothers who have mental health challenges, any kinds of diagnoses. And then Nick's going to go into some of the long-term aspects on children and their mental health who have been breastfeeding or versus not breastfeeding.
Yeah. No, and that is very, very interesting. The whole watching our language again, the campaigns that are out there. There's quite a bit of conversation going on about messaging right now, and it seems to be that messaging is a hot topic within, the field of lactation consultants generally, as I think it should be, only because we're seeing some campaigns that are perhaps not supportive of breastfeeding being successful, and this is some of the elements that we've looked at. So I'm really interested and keen to hear more of you talking about that, but we'll wait until the day, Briana, as well, okay? Because I want to get on and talk a little bit about really what's happening in both of your lives and what it looks like. So I'm going to put Nick on the hot spot first and just ask him perhaps, so tell me, first of all, what are you doing, what it looks like, because I already know, but I want you to share with the audience perhaps a little bit of a day in the life of Nick Sloan.
Yeah, so being a fourth-year medical student, it's my days are mainly filled with clinical experiences and stuff like that. I've been trying to concentrate specifically in psych just because it's the thing I'm most interested in. Specifically, child and adolescent psychiatry is kind of the path I want to go in. I think there's some amazing, I've had some amazing experiences in that, and I think there's a lot of good to be had in that field. So really, it's just kind of going through the motion for the next couple months before we graduate, and then it's off to residency. Bree's already secured her psychiatry residency here in Colorado, which is amazing, and it's awesome for her. And I'm just waiting for word on where I will be going,
right,
which should be shortly. So.
Well, that's awesome. So life has just been, it's been pretty busy, pretty jam-packed with being a student the last 4 years.
Always.
And so you probably haven't had much time for anything outside of that. But how did you all, I know you've got some things going on here too. It looks like you were in Haiti, Nick, at some point. Is that something that you pursued before, or how did that all came about? Tell me about that.
Well, it's kind of funny. I was actually a mechanical engineer, and my father, who's a physician assistant, invited me down to Haiti on a medical mission, and that's kind of what changed my whole viewpoint in life and
Oh, wow.
I guess career aspirations. So that's why I went to medical school, was because of that experience. And it's definitely something I would like to continue in the future. It might be more difficult as a psychiatrist, but I would love to do some, third world work and stuff like that, some volunteer
Sure.
stuff.
That's amazing. So life-changing, just right there.
Without a doubt, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. What a great story. Thank you so much for sharing that little insight. See, I knew I'd get some things. I'd get you guys to tell me what's happening, because I know when you're in student life, you're pretty jam-packed. Now, Briana, you and I have spoken a few times before, but the same as Nick, what really are you looking forward to, as you move forward? And have you had an opportunity to do anything else other than just stay focused on school?
Well, I do have 3 kids, as you know. So I get up in the morning, and it's just,
I don't know
madness.
how that works. How does
Let's
that
get
work,
everybody's
Briana?
get everybody's backpacks together. Who needs to
Yeah.
take their violin to school and all that? And then I've this year also done some interesting psychiatry rotations. I got to spend a month at the mental hospital. I did a lot of legal work on who's competent to stand trial. I got to see some kids inpatient. I got to see some acute adults and not necessarily cute, but acute adults.
Yes.
And I also worked at Fort Carson and got to see soldiers who were experiencing challenges. So that was pretty exciting. And then, of course, the afternoons are all filled with being the Uber driver for my children to their karate lessons and their orchestra practices. So it's a full time. It's a fun,
full time and a half,
adventure-filled life. Yes. I'm so happy though that I get to do a residency right here in Colorado. We're going to stay put. My parents live nearby, so the family gets to pretty much stay experiencing the same thing that they have been, and I'm just going to drive to residency instead.
Fabulous. Fabulous. Well, Nick, you'll have to keep us posted on when you get your news back about where you're going to be for sure. That's it's going to be exciting. I'm sure you're waiting with bated breath to find out where you're going to be. So that's awesome.
Yeah, without a doubt, I'd be happy to share that.
That's great. Well, thanks so much, guys, for being here today. I'll just talk briefly just about, again, how everyone listening in can get hooked in with the Gold Lactation Conference. It's pretty easy. All you have to do is go to goldlactation.com, okay, just one word, all online, and you will be able to register for this conference right now. Come and listen to Briana and Nick talk about this great topic, as well as many more online. You can go online and check out local times for all the live presentations. And don't forget, of course, you'll be able to listen to the recorded events as well. You can listen twice if you want. The live versions are always a lot of fun, so if you've got some time, you can come and visit and engage with the other speakers. We also have our live Q&As as well. So I will be putting Briana and Nick on the hot spot again, but it will be your voice asking the questions, which is wonderful too. We kick off this conference on April 1st, open keynote, free access for everybody. So that will be with Kathleen Kendall-Tackett, April 1st. You can register for free today as well. Well, thank you again to Briana Tillman for being with us today, and Nick Sloan, and of course to you, our listening audience. Bye-bye for now, everyone.